Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, this is a channel called Pocketbook, and this is a place where we share mom hacks, tips, tricks, and just ways that we're living more frugally and living our best life on a budget. So if these things sound like they would be beneficial to you or helpful to you, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below, and don't forget to hit the bell so that you don't miss any of the tips on this channel. So today we're going to talk about activities for the March break. So things to do with your kids during the March break, because our kids are off school and it's always a struggle trying to keep them busy when they're off school. So I have a few little tips and things that you could possibly do with your kids on the March break to keep them busy. So first thing I want to start off with is things that you can do in your community to keep your kids busy. So one of the things that I like to do with my kids is I like to take my kids to the public library. If you have a public library in your area, it's a good place to get books, to take out movies or borrow movies. They have newspapers there, magazines, all kinds of things that you could take home and borrow for a few weeks. But not only that, most of the public libraries offer a lot of programs and activities for little kids. So they'll have craft programs and reading programs and circle time, movie nights, stuff like that. So you can find lots of things at your local library for your kids to do for free. And a lot of times it is for free, or maybe it's $1 or $2 for them to take a program or whatever it is. But usually the activities that they offer are super, super cheap. Also, another thing that is super beneficial to families and people who have a lot of kids is your local YMCA. So I know in my area, our local YMCA has a pool. They have a lot of sports activities and drop-in programs for kids and stuff like that. And they also offer workshops during the March break and during the summer camps, things like that. So we find it very beneficial for our family. Also, another thing that they offer at the YMCA in my area is they will gear your membership price to your income. So you bring a copy of your last tax return and they will give you a price for your membership that is specifically geared to your income. So a lot of times you get a membership price that is a lot cheaper than what they would normally offer, because they'll make sure that it's a price that every family can afford, that's tailored just to their needs. So that's a really good thing that I think benefits a lot of families, and I don't know about every area, but I just know that that happens in my area, so maybe it's something you want to ask about at your local YMCA. So another thing that I've found in my area is the local museums in this area will often offer a children's day where they give free admission, or they will offer certain days where the admission is half price or it's a lot cheaper, or certain times of day where the admission is cheaper. So this is something that you could ask about at your local museums and see if they have any days that are cheap days or any days where the admission price is lower than what they would normally charge. If you have a Home Depot in your area, now this is such a cool thing. If you have a Home Depot in your area, which most people do, Home Depot offers kid craft days. So they offer workshops for kids so they can learn how to build things like bird houses and bird feeders and shelves and do woodworking and stuff like that. So they'll have a project and they'll teach your child how to build it, and these workshops are completely free usually. You just have to go on your local Home Depot website and see if you can find any information about it, and your kids can make use of that. Also, Michael's Craft Store does the same thing. So they offer crafts for kids and special craft programs and stuff like that. A lot of their programs are registration first, so you would have to go online, register your child so they know how many seats they're gonna have. But your child can do this for pretty cheap, or sometimes there's a small fee. So these are other things in your community that you could make use of. Also, I know that Foodland stores and Sobeys stores also do children's cake decorating days. So you would have to call and ask your local Sobeys or Foodland store about that. It's usually around $5. They just have to pay for the price of their cake, and they can come in and all the icing and sprinkles and everything is provided for them, and they can decorate a little small 5-inch cake for $5. So there's lots of stuff in your community that you can find to do. You just have to keep your eyes open and ask around and stay plugged into those community websites and stuff like that. And also just stay plugged in at your local library, because local libraries usually have a lot of information about what's going on in the community, and they can let you know if there's any programming coming up for the school breaks and stuff like that. So that's usually where I get most of my information about what's going on in my community. So another thing that you could do outside of the home is you could go on a tour. So in my area, we have a place called the Sugar Bush, and they are giving free tours. So it's a maple syrup farm, and they're giving free tours for children during the March break. So I'll probably make use of this with my children. And they have a pancake house, and they have maple syrup candy or maple sugar candy and stuff like that. So this is probably something that I'll be doing with my kids this March break, and I'm sure that you could find an orchard or something along those lines to do with your children outdoors on the March break too. So the next thing that I want to talk about is things to do with your kids when you're at home. So the first thing that I've noticed with my kids is my kids want to sit on their devices all day. Like if I let them, they wouldn't even get out of their pajamas. They would just sit on the device, on the Nintendo Switch or on the TV or on the tablet or whatever all day. So I have made these lists for my children so that they will finish doing something productive before they go on their devices. So I got these little clipboards from the Dollar Tree. These little colorful clipboards, they were $1. And then I got some little stickers for them to put on their chores whenever they do them. And I gave them each a few things to do in the morning when they wake up, and they have to do these things before they go on their devices and before they hang out with friends. So we have make your bed, get dressed, eat breakfast, brush your teeth, say a prayer. Now, this one might not be for everybody, but if it's not for you, you can just switch it out for something else. But faith is something that's very important in our household, so we like our kids to do a prayer when they wake up in the morning. And then also the next one, a 5-minute meditation. So we found meditation to be very beneficial to our kids. It helps them slow down their thoughts. It helps them to be more present, and it helps them to start off their day with a clear mind in a productive way. So we like to do, as a family, we like to do a few minutes of meditation in the morning just to start our day and to get us grounded. read a scripture. So also that one could get switched out if you are not someone who is very spiritual. But our children find that they get a lot out of reading a scripture in the morning and reading a scripture before bed. So that's something that we put on our to-do list for things to do in the morning. And then do 1 page in a workbook. So I know the kids are supposed to have a break from school, but doing 1 page in a workbook will just get the brain going and make them feel like they've accomplished something and done something productive to start their day off. And then clean your room. So usually that's just cleaning up their pajamas, making their bed and stuff like that. They usually haven't got their room too messy by that time of the day. And then do 1 household chore. So if you guys saw my earlier video on calendars and planners, you know that my kids have a chore calendar, so they can just go to their chore calendar, pick their chore for the day and do that chore, and then that chore is done for the day, and also they get to tick something off of their list. I will link that video at the end of this video so that if you are interested to see how I get my kids to do chores and what our chore routine is like, then you can watch that video later on after this one. Tell someone 5 things that you're grateful for. And I think that this is really important for our kids because it's really easy for them to get stuck in that mindset of self-pity and poor me and everything's going wrong for me. So we like to start our day off with a gratitude list just to get the thinking positive and just to remember that we have a lot in our life to be grateful for. So that's something that our kids benefit from. And then giving someone else a compliment. And this just helps our kids interact with somebody else and just be kind and respectful to another person at the beginning of their day. So it's not that hard of a list, and we just expect them to get all of these things done before they go out and play with their friends and before they pick up a device. So whenever they do something, they can just put a little sticker on the box and that's it. And we find that this works really, really well for our kids. We don't have any problems with it. So, and all of this stuff you can purchase at Dollar Tree for $1.25. And you can make a little morning routine for your kids too. So, okay, so once we've gotten the business stuff over with, before we skip from that, I just wanted to show you guys. So they have these at Dollar Tree. They're called Morning Starters, and it's a little workbook for children. So this is what we do when we do a page out of a workbook. So it's a little workbook with like little puzzles, and it's just little things to get their brain going in the morning. And this was $1.25 at Dollar Tree. And then also we have a couple little ones. So we got these little pop-up scriptures for our little guys who aren't exactly able to read the big Bible yet. We got them little Bible stories so that they can still read a scripture in the morning, or they can just open it and look at the pictures. And then these I got at Dollar Tree also for $1.25 each. And then we have our complete illustrated series of the Children's Bible. And this was about $28. I got it on Amazon. But as you can see, the pictures in it are amazing. So it was worth every penny. And this is for our older kids to read in the morning. So all of our kids have little Bible stories to read, and like I said, if you are not a spiritual person, then you could switch that out for whatever you want. That's just what we do in our house. So, some activities that I'm gonna do with my kids for the March break are we are going to plant some flowers and get them started. So what I like to do is I like to take a little egg carton and I like to cut it into little strips so that I have little cups. And then we will put a cotton ball in it, put our seeds on top of the cotton ball, and the kids will water them every day and take care of them until they sprout little roots. And then once it gets warm enough, we'll put them outside in our front garden and take care of them for the rest of the summer. So this is super inexpensive. These little packs of seeds are 4 packs for $1.25 at Dollar Tree. So this is like a super inexpensive activity to do with your kids for the March break, and kids love it. They love taking care of flowers. They love making a garden. So my kids get a lot out of it. Another thing is you can play card games. Now, we have tons of card games. We have Charades, we have Shopkins shopping game, we have a couple different kinds of Uno, and then we just have like regular playing cards. And you know what? We get lots of use out of these. Most of them I bought on Amazon, but you can buy card games at the dollar store. They're very inexpensive. You can make up your own card games. So this is something I think that everyone has access to, and card games usually take a while to play, so they'll keep kids busy for a little while. And then this is a really cool game that we got around Christmas time. I bought it on Amazon. It's called Family Scavenger Hunt, and I'll just open it and show you guys because it is actually so cool. So we have these little cards that say they'll have a little image on them of what you have to find, and one side of the card will be an outdoor game. And the other side is an indoor game. So it's actually 2 games in one. So the indoor one is all items that you can find indoors, and it's a scavenger hunt for indoors. And then the green side is all items that you could find outdoors, so you can play the same game outside. So this is a game that we actually get a lot of use out of. It was probably about maybe $10 on Amazon, and it was a really good buy because we have hours and hours of fun playing this game with our kids. So they really, really enjoy it, and I'll leave the link for it down below because I just think it's such a great activity for kids. Okay, something else that we like to do in our house, and we found it to be very beneficial, is we like to take a puzzle, and these are really inexpensive. You can get puzzles at Dollar Tree for $1.25, and you can get ones there that are up to 1,500 pieces. So pretty decent sized puzzles. And so we like to, because we have 2 dining room tables, we like to take one of our dining room tables and set up a puzzle on it, and just so that anybody who's bored or has nothing to do or they need something to keep them busy, they can sit down at the table and they can do a few pieces of puzzle. It'll keep them busy for a little while, or if they need to think or whatever, or if they just want to sit down and do some of it, the option is there. So we always like to have a puzzle going at our house. And our kids love this. We have done countless amounts of puzzles. And when you're done them, you can either glue them and frame them, or you can put them back in the box and save them for another time and do them again. We usually save ours because we have lots of kids, so, and now we have lots of puzzles too. But yeah, we usually save ours, or we'll give it away to the next person so that they can try and get some use out of it. But this is an activity that's really fun for us, and we find that as a family we get a lot of use out of it and we benefit a lot from it. So yeah, it's really good for us. The last activity that I want to show you guys is playing board games. So we have tons of board games at our house, tons and tons and tons of them. We're running out of space for them. And this is something that we get so much use out of. We have family game night at least once a week, and kids love them. You can buy them on Amazon for really, really cheap. So I usually keep my eye out for board games on Amazon around Christmas time, because usually they'll go on sale for about $10 a piece, or usually less than $20. So I try to buy most of my board games around Christmas time when they're on sale, or when they have board game stands at the mall. I like to buy them there because they're usually pretty cheap. But kids love this, and you can get endless amounts of fun out of playing a board game with your children. And yeah, we have a great time doing that. So a few other things that I have is you could do a science experiment. You could go to a park. You could go to a movie. Lots of movie theaters have cheap nights, or they have days where if you go in the morning, you get a better deal. So that's something that you could look out for at your local theater. Yeah, there's lots of activities out there. You just have to keep your eye out and look for them. So the last thing that I want to show you guys is this is how mom stays organized through the March break. So this is my mom binder. And so I have these little things here. They're like little lists, and it says errands, chores, appointments, and don't forget. And I have this because on the March break, when there's no school, it's easy for us to not look at the calendar. It's easy for us to forget appointments and things like that. So I just like to keep a daily reminder in my mom binder so that I know what's going on for my day. And then I have my little package right here, and it's just a pencil case with envelopes in it. And this is where I separate all my money. So I'll have one for bills, one for groceries, one for other, one for clothing, one for takeout. I always like to put one for takeout so that I don't overspend when I'm buying takeout. So that's how I organize all of my cash, and I make sure that I don't go over or under budget on anything. And then the back part of this is just for notes and recipes. So I'll use it to, if I need to write some notes, or if I need to write something down right quick. And also I like to keep my recipes in here of just meals that I know my kids are gonna eat. So I'll try new recipes with them all the time, multiple times a week. I try new recipes with them, and if they like them, I write them down in the mom binder, and it gives me a whole binder full of go-to meals for my kids. So yeah, that's how I stay organized through the March break and through the rest of my life. So if you guys want to know anything more about how to make your own mom binder, just leave it in the comment section below, and I'll make a video specifically about that. If you have any questions or comments about this video, make sure you guys comment down below and leave feedback, because I want to hear what you guys have to say about the content and what's going on in your lives and what you guys thought of this. If it was helpful to you or if you enjoyed it, please let me know. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and show your support, and I hope that everybody has an awesome March break. I hope it's full of amazing activities, and I hope that you guys find this video helpful in finding lots of things to do with your kids for the March break. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.